YouTube, what it do, man? It's your boy Tribe, and I'm back with another video. It's Black History Month just hit, man. I figure why not make another tier list.
Now y'all know I have to go to my criteria first. Number one, their body of work. Number two, they acting. Number three, they accolades, so like Oscars, Golden Globes, Emmys. Number four, personal bias, and of course my preference. Alright, so now let's start.
List is going James Earl Jones. Now he's a easy answer because he literally transcends generations. Based on your age, if you ask what's he best known for, you can get multiple different answers. Darth Vader from Star Wars, The King and Coming to America, The Sandlot, Lion King. If you younger like me, like Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Like he's been in a lot of classics, so he a S, and his acting is always top notch. Yo, my mouse, what's going on? Lawrence Fishburne. Now, with him, I was shocked. Like I wasn't born during the prime of his career, but from what I've been told, my mom's literally told me like there was a point in time in the '90s where it was a toss up between who was better, Lawrence Fishburne or Denzel, and I couldn't believe that. But when you look back, he's had some great roles under his belt. School Days, Boys in the Hood, Deep Cover, The Matrix, and of course his most iconic role as Ike and What's Love Got to Do with It. I don't think he's an S tier per se, but I'm gonna say he's A, exemplary. Don Cheadle. He's had a respectable career. I feel like his most iconic role would probably have to be Paul in Hotel Rwanda. But I don't think he's quite S or A tier, but he's had a great career. So I'm gonna give him a B. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's actually the inspiration on why I wanted to make a black actor tier list. You know, he recently just came out and said he's retiring. So I just figured, why not make a video about these actors and their careers and whatnot? With Terrence Howard, though, he's kind of in that Don Cheadle range as far as like how his career went. I'm gonna say Terrence Howard, he's a B. Michael B. Jordan. It's tough for me to rank Michael B. Jordan because he had such a high trajectory. Like if you look at his career, how he started off on fire, man. Hardball, The Wire, Friday Night Lights, Chronicle. And then he was getting Denzel comparison after Fruitvale Station. Like a lot of people thought he was gonna be the next Denzel, but I feel like his acting, I don't know what happened. Like after Fantastic Four, his acting kind of took a dip. I mean, he's still in great movies like Creed, Black Panther. Like he was on that SA tier trajectory, but as far as right now, I'm gonna give him Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna give him a B. The great late Chadwick Boseman. It's sad, man. His passing was so unexpected. Like he was really at the peak of his career when he passed. I felt like if he was still alive, like I'm obviously projecting, but if he was still alive, I felt like he could have been in on that S tier level because his acting was just phenomenal in everything he's done. His coming out party was obviously 42. He's always going to be remembered as T'Challa in the Black Panther. I'm gonna give him an A. Chadwick Boseman's acting, his body of work. A. Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield to me, he's in that new generation, like that new wave of black actors. Like Mahershala Ali, Daniel Kaluuya, Michael B. Jordan, Shamik Moore, Asher Sanders, like those are the guys coming up. Cause like our legends right now, they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They're not gonna be here forever. Whenever Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya are in a movie, they're like Kobe and Shaq. They like bring the best out of each other. I love when they're in movies together. With that being said, though, I'm gonna give Lakeith Stanfield a B. This brother, Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's probably best known for movies like American Gangster and, of course, 12 Years a Slave. He's had a solid career, but I don't think he's on the same tier as the guys on the S, A, or B. He's probably going to be our first C tier guy. Consistent. Morris Chestnut. Morris Chestnut. Where do I want to rank him? I don't. He has a lot of classic movies under his belt as well. But as far as actual acting goes, I don't think he's on the same tier as like an S or an A. But I'm gonna give him Morris Chestnut a B. Sidney Poitier. For a lot of you, so some of you guys may not know who this is. I'm gonna make a sports reference to him. He's kind of like the Pele, the Bill Russell of his time. He walks so the rest of these black actors can run. Like, he was iconic in his own right. He was the very first black actor to win an Oscar in the 60s. Very iconic during his time. He recently just passed like last year, if I remember correctly. Sidney Poitier, based off his impact, based off his filmography, he a S. Idris Elba. Idris Elba, man. For the longest time, I thought he was American. Like, when you watch his earlier movies from like the 2000s, like from The Wire up to Obsessed, I thought he was full blown American, bro. Like, his acting is just on another level. And plus, he's very well known as well. I'm not gonna lie, as popular as he is, I don't think it's a toss up to me between A and B. I'm gonna give Idris Elba, he's an A. Yeah, I'm gonna give him an A. Cause he really had me fooled my whole childhood, cause I really thought he was American. Samuel L. Jackson. Do I need to say any more where he's... Before I place him where I do, I just want to say, we all know who the GOAT black actor is. Like, I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons, but he's the GOAT. But I don't think Samuel L. Jackson is that far off. Like, it's literally 1A, 1B. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson, he's the most versatile actor. Like, he could be the protagonist, he could be the antagonist, he could be in dramas, comedy, animated films, like voice acting. He literally does it all. Does it all. It's literally 1A, 1B with the other all-time GOAT, who we will get to very soon on this list. So Samuel L. Jackson, I don't gotta say much, man. If you gotta argue that Samuel L. Jackson isn't S tier, you're gonna be talking to yourself. Wood Harris. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I think Wood Harris is the most underrated actor on his list. Most underrated. Like, his body of work is crazy to me. It's iconic. He's been a part of classic movies. He's been the protagonist in arguably the best show of all time. I think the best show of all time in The Wire. and he's been consistent since the '90s. I don't think he's GOAT. I don't think he's an S tier per se, but I do think he deserves his flowers. Wood Harris, to me, he's an A. His older brother Steve, Charles from Diary, most known for Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Now he's in BMF. He's even more hidden in BMF than he was in as Charles, which is crazy. I didn't think that could be possible. He's had a solid career for the most part. I don't think he's an S, A, or B though. So I'm gonna give him a C. Larenz Tate. Larenz Tate is kind of hard for me to to grade because it's like he's how his body of work is crazy as well. Power, Menace to Society, Love Jones, Dead Presidents. But can I really put him in that tier? Nah, I'm gonna give Larenz Tate. I'm gonna give him. He's a B. Mahershala Ali. Now he has a lot of pedigree. He doesn't have just one, but 2 Oscars under his belt. That's just as many as Denzel and more than anybody else on this list. But I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say he did not deserve that first Oscar. I'm sorry. If I sound like a hater, alright. If I sound like a hater, let's rewind time for a second. So 2016, Will and Jada, they boycott the Oscars. They let it be known how for the past 2 years in 2015 and 2016 that it was all white actors that was getting nominated. No other races was getting nominated at the Oscars. And the Oscars, they faced a lot of backlash for that. So the very next year in 2017, the Academy Awards just littered with like diversity as far as nominations go, right? Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, Best Director, all that. Now, back to Mahershala Ali. He didn't deserve that first Oscar for Moonlight because he was literally only in the movie 20 minutes before getting killed off screen. I think 20 minutes, that's like the shortest amount of time an actor's ever won an Oscar for. And it was very easy to see that the Oscars, they gave it to him just because of the whole pushback from the years prior with the lack of diversity. That was kind of like a diversity Oscar. Like, here, see, y'all can win too. We're not that bad. But he did deserve that second Oscar for Green Book, in my opinion. But the first Oscar, nah, that was very, nah. I'm not giving that first Oscar. 20 minutes in the movie, you get an Oscar, come on. But with that being said, he did deserve his second one. So for that, I give him an A. Tyron Turner. Okay, with Tyron Turner, it's tough grading him because he's in one of my favorite movies. He's a star in one of my favorite movies ever, in Menace to Society, right? Really, besides Belly and Menace to Society, he doesn't really have a good body of work. I think on Vlad, he has said in the interview that after Menace, he expected roles to be given to him. He didn't really audition for roles as much as he did like before Menace, and I think that hurt him in the long run. So I can't even put him in consistent C. I'm gonna have to give him a D. Unfortunately, that's crazy to me, Bummy. Damn. Omar Epps. He has a lot of classics under his belt. He's been in the game for over 30 years now. I don't even got to name the classic movies he's been in. If you don't know what Omar Epps have done, you've been living under a rock. I don't think he's an S or an A, but I do think he's a B. Danny Glover. Now, with Danny Glover, he's best known for his role in The Color Purple and The Lethal Weapon. He's a great actor in his own right. I don't think he's an S or an A either. But I do think he's a B. This is where things start getting dicey with these next couple of names. Alright, so Anthony Mackie. He's had a steady career for the most part. He's come a long way since 8 Mile. He's presently the current new Captain America. So, I'm going to give him, he's a C. He's a C. And he's had one of the most iconic roles ever. If you know, you know.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. Come on. Hey, yo, check it out, motherfucker. I'm Tupac.
Now, Bill Duke. Okay, so the thing with Bill Duke is I feel like he has a lot of iconic moments, but not necessarily iconic roles. Like, he will never carry a movie, so I can't necessarily put him through S, A, or even B. So I'm going to give Bill Duke, he is a C. Okay, now this is a really tough one for me. Clifton Powell. In my humble opinion, I feel Clifton Powell is the second most underrated actor on this list after Wood Harris. He, to me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to put him in the A tier, but the problem is he's always the side character. He's never really the main character in his movies compared to the guys that's listed in the A tier. I feel like every time he's on screen, you feel his presence. Menace to Society, Rock, Friday. Damn near every movie he's been in, he just carries his role with such excellence, man. I really want to put him in A tier, but the problem is he's never the main character in his movie, so I can't necessarily give that to him. But I'm going to give him a B. Glenn Plummer. He's a hood movie legend in my opinion. Like, when you think about it, movies like Menace to Society, Imperial Dreams, and of course probably his most iconic role, South Central. However, when I look at the rest of his body of work, it doesn't really hold up compared to the other guys that's in the upper echelons. So with that being said, I'm going to give Glenn Plummer, he is C. Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, let's say if YouTube was made back in like 2000, 2001, if I was making this list during that time, he probably would be in the S or the A tier. Like, his run in the 90s was just crazy, man. Like, crazy. He had movies. He won an Oscar. Iconic movie like Boys in the Hood as well. But the problem is, in the 2000s, his body of work really shaky. Like, he had a really bad 2000, like the whole decade. He kind of got blackballed. And he just had a really rough stretch in the 2000s. He was nominated for not one, not two, but 3 Razzie Awards. And if y'all know what a Razzie Award is basically when an actor gets nominated for the worst actor in the movie. He had 3 of them. Not only was he nominated for 3 Razzie Awards, but in the 2000s he had 12 straight movies resulting in direct-to-video. Not even in the cinema, but direct-to-video. But he was able to have a resurgence though in the 2010s with movies like The Butler, Selma, and his most known role in the 2010s was playing OJ in the Netflix miniseries. So he was able to have a resurgence, but that whole decade in between the 90s and the 2010s is what really brings him down for me. He's probably going to be the lowest rated black actor with an Oscar on this list. So I'm going to give him a B. Because he does have an Oscar in his own right. Michael Ealy. What do I want to put him? He's... I don't know. He has... When I look at his body of work, he's creepy in a lot of his movies, man. Outside of Barbershop and like Think Like a Man, his roles are really, I don't know, he's a menace. He's a menace in a lot of his movies. But he has been consistent though. I'm gonna give Michael Ealy, he's a C. Wesley Snipes. I feel like with his trajectory, he was on his way to an A. When you look at early on in his career and look at the prime of his career, but after the tax situation, going to jail for that kind of slowed his career down. He's slowly building it back up. He was recently in Coming to America, the sequel. That movie wasn't that good, but he's back. He's back acting again, which is a good sign. But however, with that being said, I'm gonna give him. He's a B. Ice Cube. Now I want y'all to keep in mind that this is strictly an acting tier list. He's an obvious S or A tier artist, depending on who you ask. He has done a lot. He's made a lot of black classic movies, man. Players Club, Friday. But the thing is, though, my only problem with Ice Cube is just he's literally himself in damn near every single movie he's been in from an acting standpoint. As an actor, I can't put Ice Cube on the same level as even these C-list guys. He has a lot of iconic roles, but that's just mostly because he's Ice Cube. So I'm going to have to give Ice Cube a D, and this is strictly off acting. Taye Diggs. Taye Diggs, he's been in a lot of big movies himself, and his acting is A1 too. Taye Diggs. What do I want to put Taye Diggs? I'm going to give Taye Diggs, I'm going to give him a B. Charles S. Dutton. Most known probably for his roles in like The Express, Rock, and of course Menace to Society. He always plays like that father figure in his movies or shows. And his acting is amazing, man. It's amazing. Like if anyone watched that show Rock, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Got canceled way too soon, but we all know why it got canceled. We all know why. He's a B. I'm gonna give him a B. Now, Shemar Moore. Man. Look, man. Anyway, alright, Anthony Anderson. Now, when you look at the beginning of Anthony Anderson's career with movies like Romeo Must Die, Kangaroo Jack, he was always kind of like that sidekick, that comic relief character. But now, when you look at his new body of work, he's able to change his image, which I respect a lot. Now, I ain't gonna put him in the upper echelons of best black TV dads, but some may argue that with his show like Blackish, Grownish, he's a B. I'm giving Anthony Anderson. Yeah, he's a B. Now, Tyrese. Okay, he has Baby Boy. I can't take that from him, but I feel like for the most part, the rest of Tyrese's movies, he plays himself. So I don't think he's a S, A, B, or even C. I think he's a D. But he's one of those musicians who was able to transition to acting like pretty well, which I respect. I'm not gonna lie, yo, I'm looking at this list. There's one change I'm gonna make because it's bothering me. Cause I'm looking at Tyrese and I'm looking at Ice Cube's body of work. Ice Cube's body of work, I'm not giving him enough respect. I didn't even mention Boys in the Hood when I was talking about him. Yeah, I'm gonna move Ice Cube up to a C. Yeah, I was bugging on that take. Kevin Hart. Damn. I want y'all to keep in mind this is purely a black actor tier list, so I'm looking at Kevin Hart purely as an actor now. I'm going to make a comedian tier list in the future, so when I make that tier list, it's going to be a different story. But as far as Kevin Hart and acting, he has the same problems as Tyrese. He's just always himself in movies. I'm really pondering whether or not he's a C or a D. I'm giving him a C. Kevin Hart, he's a C. Mekhi Phifer. Mekhi Phifer. He has some hits in his body work. He can act his ass off too. Like 8 Mile, Paid in Full, Soul Food. Those are some legendary classics. And the car scene in Paid in Full, I guarantee you, had that not been a hood movie, had that been a normal movie, that scene doesn't get talked about enough. And I'm going to delve deep into it when I make my hood movie tier list, which is probably going to be the next video. He's very underrated, like extremely underrated. I'm going to give him Mekhi Phifer, he's a calm B. Jamie Foxx. I ain't going to hold y'all. Now, earlier I said Samuel Jackson is by far the most versatile actor. Jamie Foxx is probably the most versatile and entertainer entertain. I'm bugging. Most versatile entertainer, right? But this, like I said, this is purely from an acting standpoint. I ain't gonna lie, like Jamie Foxx, his acting is A1. Like it don't. He's the best of the best when it comes to like pure acting, and he's very versatile as well. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give Jamie Foxx. He S tier for me. Jamie Foxx is S tier for me. Man, Vane. He has the same problem as like Tyrese and Kevin Hart, where he always plays himself. The macho man in every movie he's in. I think his most iconic role is probably Baby Boy, of course, and Pulp Fiction. He is C. I'm gonna give him he is C. Tupac. He died so young. He was only 25 when he passed, man. Like, had he continued his trajectory of his, I'm not even talking about music, just off acting, he easily would be S tier. But because he passed so young, his body, I can't even put him in A tier because his body of work is just so small. His sample size is very small. But he was great. Like, he was amazing in that small sample size. You know what? Some guys are exceptions to the rule. He's one of them. I'm going to give it to Tupac. He's an A. I'm going to give him an A. Keith David. Now, this is a guy right here. He don't get his just due. He's a very underrated actor. Where do I want to put Keith David? Yeah, he's a B. Leon. I know now this guy, he was very popular like in the 90s. Very popular in the 90s. What do I want to put Leon? Yeah, I'm gonna give him the C. Hakeem Wilbon. You know, there was a viral tweet the other day I saw on Twitter that said, "This is the guy that's in every movie, but you don't know his name." So that just speaks to how underrated he is as an actor. And he has a great body of work too. When you look down the movies he's done, I'm gonna give him. He's a B. Wilbon's a B. Terry Crews. Terry Crews. I'm bugging right now. He would have had the same problem as a lot of other people on this list, where he's always the macho man in the movie he be playing in. Listen, y'all. Everybody hates Chris. I'm very biased when it comes to everybody hates Chris. Like, that's like when you talk about the best sitcom in the 2000s, I think that's Everybody Hates Chris. Sitcom. I'm not talking about overall shows like Breaking Bad or The Wire. I'm talking about strictly sitcom. I think that's everybody's Chris by far. And I honestly think that Terry Crews is the last iconic black TV dad, and that holds a lot of weight for me. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you say what you all want to say about him off camera, but as far as his acting and his just though, you see. I'm gonna get Terry Crews to see. Now, let's see. Alright, y'all. I had to zoom the screen now so y'all can see the remaining actors at the bottom. Who we got next? Barry Floyd. Probably best known for The Game. His acting, I'm gonna be very nice. I didn't like it at all. So I'm gonna give him that respectfully. Master P. As an artist, he's done a lot in the hip hop game. But I can even remember when I was a kid watching Lil Romeo. As a little kid, I can even tell, like, yo, who is this dude acting, man? Like, his acting is not there. Like, he's just not a good actor. Still an icon, though, but, yeah. Jason Weaver. This is also another very underrated actor. Like, I'm talking, his body of work is crazy when you consider what he did since he was a child to a teenager to now an adult. And his acting is amazing as well. However, I don't think he's on the same level as the guys that you see in the S or the A tier. But I'm going to give him a B. I do think he's a solid B tier. The Rock, he has the same issue as a couple other guys where he always plays himself. He's a one-trick pony for the most part. I'm going to give The Rock, he a C. Morgan Freeman. Look, do I gotta say anything for Morgan Freeman? Do I really have to explain where he is on this list? I shouldn't have to. And if I have to, y'all just don't know Morgan Freeman. That's an obvious S tier. Iconic actor, man. His body of work is amazing. His acting is amazing. He deserves his flowers. Shameik Moore. He's a part of the new school, or what I consider new school guys, like new school actors. He's doing he doing it right now. As Raekwon in the Wu-Tang show on Hulu. If y'all don't watch that, y'all should watch that. That's an amazing show. I think he's on the come up right now. If I were to make a new list 5-10 years from now, he could probably move up. But he's a B right now. He's still in his prime. That could change. He could move that up within a couple of years. Ashton Sanders. Probably best known for his role in Moonlight. And he's also in the new Wu-Tang show. And he's a part of the new school actors who's taking over now. I'm not gonna lie. His voice as RZA in the Wu-Tang show, it's very annoying to listen to. Like, I cringe when they be talking. He be trying to talk like a cartoon character, but he's also not in his prime, but he's working his way up. I'm giving him, he's a C for right now. He's still in his 20s, so he's still got a long time to go. Forrest Whitaker, man, yo. It's sex. I guarantee you, if you would have asked adults who are like 35, 40 and up, maybe even 30 and up, Forrest Whitaker, you say his name, they'll agree. Like, he's amazing. Iconic acting in his own right. But if you guys ask anybody, like, around my age range, like 25 or younger, 24, 23, 22, 21 and younger, he's fairly underrated in that aspect. But I know Forrest Whitaker's body of work. Has an Oscar in his own right. He's an S to me. Forrest Whitaker is an S tier for me. Daniel Kaluuya. Now, I was just talking about the new school actors. You guys gotta realize a lot of the guys in the S and the A tier, they're all guys in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like, they're not gonna be here forever, as sad as that may sound. So, when I look at Daniel Kaluuya, I think he's the leader, by far, like the number one leader of this new school, like with these actors. I think he's gonna be the Denzel of our generation as far as like who's gonna be that guy for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I think it's gonna be him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to put him in S tier, but that's mainly because I be projecting, not really where he is right now. He hasn't had a miss yet since he's been in the mainstream, since Get Out. Wait, I'm lying like a motherfucker right now. That's not true. Queen and Slim, that was kind of a miss. His acting was okay, but the overall movie just wasn't good. He's an A. He's an A. He might put himself in A. He's damn near A. Nah, he's an A. He's an A. He gotta do a little movie. Even though he has an Oscar in his own right, he deserved that Oscar too. For Black Judas and the Messiah, he deserved that Oscar. Still got a long way to go as well. I'm very happy. I can't wait to see what he does years from now. I think he's gonna be the next Denzel as far as our generation goes. Oh shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know if I said anything controversial throughout the duration of this video, but I may catch some flack for what I'm about to say about this next guy. I don't want to be that guy. I always get flack for saying this like in real life, but I'm going to say it here too. Will Smith. Will Smith. Okay. Before I say what I gotta say about Will Smith, here's the thing with Will Smith for me. When his highs are high, like his highs are like the other S tier guys on this list. The problem with Will Smith to me, his career is just so hit or miss. Now he has classics like Fresh Prince, Bad Boys, Men in Black, I, Robot, Pursuit of Happiness, I Am Legend. But for damn near every great movie he has a lot of bad movies. Now, obviously, every actor may have a bad movie here and there. But the thing with Will Smith is his bad movies are literally some of the worst movies ever. So when I take that into account, looking at his body of work, that's a hit for me. Now, he just won an Oscar, obviously. You know, the whole Chris Rock situation, which I'm not even thinking about as far as ranking him. But he has some bad movies, yo. Like Wild Wild West. The Legend of Bagger Vance, Gemini Man, Suicide Squad, and how can I listen? I love movies, as y'all can obviously see. After Earth came out like the summer going to my freshman year in high school. That was the first and only time I paid my ticket and I walked out the theater. Literally. That's how After Earth is literally one of the worst movies of all time. The biggest pump fake of all time. Because if y'all remember the trailer was tough. Ooh. I'm getting PTSD just thinking about watching that movie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So when I look at his body of work and put that into effect, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even think, because of his body of work, his inconsistent body of work, I don't even think Will Smith is a top 5 black actor of all time. I don't think he's better than Denzel. I don't think he's better than Samuel L. Jackson. I don't think he's better than Morgan Freeman. I don't think he's better than Forrest Whitaker. And I don't even think he's better than Jamie Foxx. That's my personal top 5. He's an A. I'm not going to give Will Smith S tier. I'm sorry. He's an A. And there's nothing wrong with being in the A. Like, look at the guys who are in A. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. It's just when I look at the S tier guys and their resumes and their body of work, I just think it's severely better than Will Smith. And I still love and respect him as an actor and what he's done. So I let that off. I didn't let that soliloquy out. My fault. Tyler Perry. Oh my Lord, Tyler Perry. Y'all listen. Nah. I'm sorry. F. Like, nah. What? Listen. I cannot stand any of Tyler Perry's movies. Madea is just played out, man. Don't get me wrong. The first 2 movies, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and there was another movie that I liked with Angela. I don't remember the name. Angela Bassett, Rick Fox. Which movie was that? I can't remember off the top of my head. Those are only 2 movies I really love. Everything else, it's just constant black trauma. The black men are always the antagonist. He's just Tyler Perry. He's there. Like, I'm gonna leave him there, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And his acting, I don't like his acting either. He does provide a lot of jobs for blacks, but we just talking about acting. So he's there. Okay, listen. If Denzel's not on the S, if he's not an S, then I don't know who is. He's not only the best black actor of all time, but I think he's the best actor of all time. Better than Al Pacino, better than De Niro, better than Tom Hanks, better than Leo. Like, he's number 1 for me. Not just black, but overall number 1. Call me biased, but hey, that's my opinion. He's the GOAT. That's the true GOAT right there. Where do I want to put? Okay. I'm trying to think where I want to. He has a lot of he's underrated. He's very well underrated in his own right.
Just go out to everybody, man.
He's a I'm gonna give him, he's a B. He is a B. Now, John Boyega. He's also what I consider a new school guy. Imperial Dreams, Star Wars, The Woman King recently. Well, I'm bugging. I'm about to put him in B. I'm wilding right now. I'm bugging out right now. He's a C. He does have time to like improve his body of work because he's still very young. And last and certainly not least, John David Washington, Denzel's son. He's on the come up. The Black Klansman was his breakout role for sure, for certain. It's not a nepotism thing. He can act. I just think it's really since he only has 2 great movies, but then again, he just broke out like 3-4 years ago. So for the time being, I'm going to give him a C for now, but he could definitely improve on that. Alright, this is my tier list right here. I'm looking over it. This is my tier list right here. I feel like it's just decent. If y'all agree, disagree, want to talk about it, we can talk about it in the comments. I'm going to make another tier list soon, real soon.